Hello and welcome to Paradise Wildlife Park. I'm Aaron and I'm joined by our head of large carnivores, Ian. We are at our lion enclosure. So Ian, what are we actually doing with our lions this morning?
So basically what we're going to do, we're going to try and get Moto, our male lion, to climb the pole a little bit. He's not done this for a while, so we're just easing him back into it gently. So it should be able to keep his both feet on the ground and try and pull at this. And it's what we call a pole feed. He's got a little bit extra at the front here. He might come and eat that first. We'll soon see what happens as he's coming out now, where he's going to go first.
And can you just explain why we're actually doing the pole feed?
Yeah, so pole feeds are a really good way to kind of get big cats to exercise in captivity, really. So it might not be natural or normal for him to actually go up a pole, obviously in the wild, and climb a tree maybe to go get his food. But what it does do is it uses the same muscles and the same bones as if these guys were grabbing on prey. They're big top predators, and what these guys want to do is chase their prey and try and grab it from behind. So if they were climbing the pole, they're using those front legs, those muscles there. He's got to work out where it is first. Using their muscles there to try and pull themselves up the pole a little bit. And with big cats in the wild, it's kind of short bursts of power and energy over a very short distance. So even if it takes him a little while to get it off, hopefully it won't take him too long with the meat I've hung up today. But if it does take him a little bit of time to get it off, it means that he might have to rest in between. He'll often sit around the bottom of the pole and go up and have another go. He's cheating a little bit and he's gone straight for the easier bit of food there, which is right in front of us.
And can you just explain what he's actually eating?
So actually that's a little bit of heart and just a little bit of flesh, just to top his meal up today. The leg that we've got hanging up is horse meat. Like we've said before, you know, horses are valued pets. We don't kill horses to feed our cats. It is down to owners to decide how they want their pet disposed of. So luckily for us, lots of people like to see their animal passed on in the food chain. It gets checked for disease, make sure it hasn't been put down by any drugs or it's got any medication in it that it might have had while it was alive that could be harmful to our cats. So we're quite lucky it all gets checked before it comes to us. And a little bit of offal like that's really, really good for them. In the wild, they get virtually all of their vitamins and their minerals in their diet from eating kind of the heart and the liver and the organs of their prey species, and then they move on to the big cuts of meat and the muscle meat, and even eating the fur and the bones and things like that as well. Anything they generally can't digest, their body is so efficient, they actually just bring this back up, a bit like fur balls with small cats and things like that. So it works really well. But we do also supplement their meat with a carnivore supplement if they're not getting any offal and things like that.
And can you just explain how much food he's eating and how often we feed him?
So today,
and our big cats in general.
Yeah, so we actually gorge and starve all of our big cats here at Paradise. We try and mimic the same way that they would obviously eat in the wild. These guys are top predators and they are built to kind of eat a huge amount of food in one go, probably about a third of their own body weight in a single sitting. But then they could go 10, 14 days without making a kill in the wild. So it does help stimulate a natural behaviour if you kind of feed them in a similar way that we do. Or how they would eat in the wild. So here we actually give them a main meal every 3 days. They do get little snacks and little bits of training in between, but they're more like packet of crisps and chocolate bars in between their main meals. And it works really, really well to help stimulate that natural behaviour. And the most natural behaviour you're going to see out of most cat species is sleeping after they've had a nice big gorge meal. Generally, these guys are going to sleep for about that's the wrong tree, about 18 hours to 20 hours. And usually the 24 hours after a main meal, these guys really, really do just lounge around and let their slow metabolism that they've got for digesting food kick in.
And how much does Moto actually weigh?
So Moto is our heaviest cat on the park. He does weigh 225 kilo the last time we weighed him. So you know, you're talking about a cat over 500 pounds in weight here. And he is absolutely huge. And even though he's an old boy, he's, 13 years old now, he'd be really, really lucky to reach this age in the wild. Probably male lions in the wild average between 8 and 10 and maybe 8 and 12 if they've really got strong genetics and they've managed to stay as fit and healthy as possible throughout the wild. So, yeah, he's a big beast of a boy, but he's pretty trim, he's pure muscle, and that's because he wants to keep himself in shape to be able to defend the pride in the wild.
Can you just explain why their lifespans are so much shorter in the wild as opposed to captivity?
So sadly in the wild there's lots of dangers and lots of problems for them. These guys obviously they're built to live to their prime basically in the wild. For big cats it's nowhere near as long as it would be in captivity. It's got dangers in the wild like disease and sadly things like poaching and habitat loss hugely, anything to do with human conflict, hugely bring down their lifespan in the wild through various different things. Obviously here we've got expert vet care, we've got ways of treating disease. If he gets ill and he couldn't hunt in the wild, we'd obviously still feed him here, and all these things contribute to them living a lot longer. In theory, we think that they should be living a lot longer in captivity anyway. It means that we're giving them the best care possible. Moto has decided that he can't find the right pole where his last bit of food is, but hopefully as we're watching he's going to have a little bit of explore. A good thing like this as well, it does mean that we're encouraging him to go around his enclosure and actually explore areas that he might kind of overlook on a lot of occasions and things like that.
And Moto's a white lion, so can you just explain to people what the difference is between a white lion and a normal lion?
Yep, so white lions, they're not a different subspecies whatsoever. They are just having this lighter fur. It's called leucism. Leucistic animals means that they've taken that pigmentation out of their skin there, and it's actually caused by a recessive gene. So recessive genes in people are things like blonde hair and blue eyes. So to get a white lion in the wild, if two tawny lions or two normal coloured lions both carried this white gene, both adults must carry it to be able to produce a white cub, then you roughly have about a 1 in 4 chance that you're going to find that you'll produce a white cub. In the wild, you're probably talking maybe every 20, 25 years that a white lion may occur, and it's very easy for them. And it may, when it does occur in the wild, you know, it is an incredibly rare sight, and sadly for these guys, you know, they're really sought after. In the trade of lions, you know, a white lion could be worth 10 times more than a tawny coloured lion just simply for the colour of its fur, and that's a real shame because there's no difference with them. They're still all African lions.
And could you just explain why we don't breed our white lions, or why we haven't in several years?
So yeah, we haven't had a cub here with our pride for about 7 or over 7 years now. Zuri, his daughter, with the last one that we were going to breed here. With the breeding of cats, we generally want to make sure that we're contributing towards breeding conservation programs and maybe potential re-release in the future if ever needed. So it's really important that we kind of follow the guidelines. We don't want to be overpopulating zoos with animals that aren't genetically strong enough to be able to go out into the wild in the future or play that part. Now, even though these might not ever be considered for re-release, it doesn't mean they don't have their conservation value in a sense that we use them as an ambassador species. These guys have helped us raise tens of thousands of pounds over the last few years that we've put into lion conservation to make sure that we're protecting lions in their natural habitat in the wild. So the breeding program as such has decided that they didn't really want us to keep breeding these guys, and we took that on board and decided that we would stop breeding straight away, which we did. We've taken precautions to make sure. We've had some of the cats neutered now, so they can still live out their happy lives here with us, helping us raise money, raise awareness for their wild counterparts, and then hopefully in the future this enclosure will be then used for a more genetic strong cat that we could use on the breeding program.
Obviously, you just touched upon some of the threats that are facing lions. Can you just talk about some of the conservation efforts that we support?
Yeah, so we do support lots of different charities in situ, abroad and in the UK, by raising money for all of our animals here at Paradise. For our cat ones, you know, Wildcats Conservation Alliance is a great charity. They were previously known as 21st Century Tiger. We've been supporting these guys for many years now and have won awards for the support that we give them. They're an incredibly good charity in the sense that the admin fees for their charities actually paid for by 2 different zoos around the world. So it means that when we donate, you know, £1,000 to them, £1,000 goes directly towards protecting cats in their natural habitat. We also support Panthera, and most recently we've been doing work with Old Pajetta, a conservancy out in Kenya, where they do a lot of lion collaring to help with the conflict of farmers and livestock farmers with big cats out in the wild, which is a great charity as well to support.
And can you just talk about what it's like in the day of the life, I think I'm saying that right, of a big cat keeper? Can you just explain how we manage the cats here at Paradise?
Yeah, so with the big cats here, I suppose what we have to do is work around them. You know, if they don't want to come over, everything we do with our cats is what we call close contact. So it's all through the other side of a fence line. So it means if they don't want to come over to the keepers and let us go into an area to clean, then we can't do it. So we spend a lot of time building up a positive relationship with these guys. We do lots of positive reinforcement training so that we can move them around quite easily, so that we can clean a lot quicker. But when you get a beautiful sunny day like today, you know, sometimes they are just lazy. They just want to be cats, sleep in the sun, and don't really want to pay attention. So we do just work our day around the cats, really. It's all around cleaning, feeding, enrichment, and training, and making sure that we're providing the best welfare we possibly can.
Awesome. Well, we hope you guys have all enjoyed watching Moto getting his feed today. Hopefully you've learned some things about lions and big cats that you may not have learnt before, not just from a conservation perspective, but also about how we manage big cats in captivity at well-established wildlife parks and zoos across the world. What we're going to do is we're going to leave Moto to continue enjoying his meal because it's going to take him quite a while to get through all of that. But obviously in the meantime, while this pandemic is taking place, we hope that everyone at home is staying safe and obviously staying in, listening to the government's advice. Now, even though the pandemic is taking place, being key workers, we will be coming in to take care of the animals every single day throughout this pandemic, but it is costing us around £200,000 a month to take care of the animals here at Paradise. So if anyone is willing to help us from a financial standpoint and is willing to make a donation, then please visit our Just Giving page, go to justgiving.com and then Animal Support Fund, or you can go to our website, which is pwpark.com. Of course, when the pandemic is over, we do look forward to welcoming you back to Paradise and so that you can come and see our beautiful animals. But in the meantime, stay home and stay safe. Take care.
Bye.